Not stopping, get on!
Where's Smithy?
Smithy! He's just there.
Yeah. Oh,
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Valley Road. It's round 11 Clash. Hobart's Devonport TPS strikers. We'll have some more information later on, but a big thank you to our sponsors for today. Special thanks to Total Performance Sports and, of course, Gallons, Box Park and Toyota. The club major raffle as we come in the gates. Only 350 tickets, $100 ticket, you've got a really good chance of winning. Versus purchasing a ticket, we'll go to Tim and I'll sort you out. We also had our first major club function on this evening, the last strike stand. Tickets are also available, that $50 ticket, $1,000 prize tonight. You don't have to be here with it, so great opportunity to $1,000 grab tonight. Tickets are $50 and they can purchase in the canteen as well. We've got a bit of time until the game gets underway, but today, special day. We have members of our SAT program competing in the Kanga Cup this year. They'll be going away shortly, so we're raising some funds for today. And they'll be leading the teams out as well. We'll announce those players as they walk out with the NPL teams kick-off. But congratulations to the boys. They have a raffle which they running today. You can see the boys walking around selling raffle tickets. Not a cheap trick this time. Some of the young guys coming through.
Oh, you're in.
Oh mate, I know him, boy. You know that. I know him. I tried the ridiculous $50. I couldn't get him. Take me out.
Yeah.
I know too well.
Joking, good. Joking.
I can't fish out there without 50. Kenny's
Parkins. Get some shit over Parkins.
I saw it online. And I think
why don't you get involved now? You do the heading and stuff, but you don't take some balls off.
It's not that bad.
I think you should do that.
It's much better than what it was when I was in grade 7.
We probably could do a few things. It is a good time. Sanders, my voice is here, mate.
I'm doing the scoreboard, I can't.
Oh shit, I smell rotten cheese.
Yeah.
Rotten.
It's rata. It's a rata stinking and I'm ready for the next game.
Fuck up. Thanks.
Hi, Brain Man.
He might be up there now. And Emma. He might be on it now.
We're about 3 or 4 minutes away from kick-off now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, just a reminder that members of our SAT program are competing in the Kanga Cup. They'll be leading the teams out today. We'll give them a shout, introducing to all those players as they walk out with the NPL teams. Don't forget also that it's half-time. We have the Total Performance Sports penalty shootout, a great opportunity to win a $50 gift voucher from TPS Sports. We've got all the club paraphernalia down there now, so a great chance to win something there, and easy to win. Just got to score a penalty through a couple of holes and a banner. How hard can that be? So if you're interested in that and you're a child at heart, and preferably of age, please get down to the front of the ground at half time and see how you go. We're about 2 minutes away from kick-off.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Valley Road, the Portress, for this round 11 fixture between the Devonport Strikers and the Hobart Zebras. First v fourth this weekend here in Devonport. We'll see second v third, South v Olympia, down in Hobart on Sunday. So a big weekend in the Tasmanian NPL. Potential championship deciders right here in round 11, only midway through the season, at near the midpoint of the season. My name's Camille Douglas, and we'll have a look at the team sheets for today. For Devonport name, we've got young Eddie Bidwell, who's found his goal scoring boots this season with 5 for the Devonport Strikers, the second leading scorer for Devonport. Max Fitzgerald's also got a handful of goals, an import coming down from the Gold Coast for the Strikers this year, making a big impact at the club. Similarly, Ignacio Giampoli having a terrific season, the diminutive Argentinian. The very experienced Todd Hingston will play an important role in midfield alongside Giampoli. The rock at the back, Kieran Mulroney, who I saw today, has played nearly 100 or around 100 games for the Devonport Strikers first team, so a terrific effort from a very experienced campaigner there. Connor Park will play on the right of the defensive backline for the Devonport Strikers. Pitchford in goals. Raf Reynolds has made an impact upon returning and will sit in front of that back four today. Dom Smith playing at left back. The ever-present, skillful, the artist among the artisans, Joel Stone, the number 10, who will play probably up top today as a bit of a false 9 maybe, and Daniel Sarson will play in midfield as well. On the bench, Miles Barnard, who's actually the leading scorer for the Devonport Strikers. Charles Bidwell on the bench there. Jack Dance and Kynan West round off the bench for the Devonport team today. The Hobart Zebras today, Riley Dillon has made a big impact there at the Hobart Zebras. He's playing at fullback this year. Henry Fagg will be in defence. Jaden Hay, an ever-present former Mitsubishi medal winner, in midfield there. Hoogs Luke comes in for Hobart Zebras today. He'll be a presence up top at the 9 or 10 position for them. Tommy Little in defence, Muller in midfield, and the attacking pace and Sanders. Walsh will be up and down the wing as we expect Samuel Watman, the Kiwi, and then Yonazawa, who has had a terrific season for the Hobart Zebras. Akali Chirutza, who I'm told is on the comeback from injury. Samuel Jones comes in today to the squad for Edwards, who received a red card last week in that tremendous game between South and the Zebras last week, which finished 5-4 to South. Adam Sunday McEwen and Nathan Reid round out the substitute bench for the Hobart Zebras, and we're not far from getting underway here at the Portress. It's a brilliant sunny day. The pitch is in terrific nick. I've just finished playing on it myself, and it's a dream out there. So we're looking forward to some high quality football today. Of course, these teams met only recently for what was a delayed game. The first round of the season was called off, so we had those games played recently, and the Hobart Zebras broke Devonport's undefeated streak, and with a 2-1 victory down at KG5. In what was a strange game, the Zebras came out of the blocks and scored 2 goals against Devonport in the first 10-15 minutes, and it looked like they might blow Devonport away, but once Devonport settled on the ball and got into their passing rhythm, Devonport were very much on top for the remaining 75 minutes of that game, and couldn't quite do enough to secure victory there. So revenge on the mind of the Devonport Strikers. And then I believe there's, not too far away, they'll face each other again in the Lackaseljak Cup. So their sides are getting very much used to each other as they're getting ready to walk out on the pitch now. So the Zebras will hope for a similarly quick start today and a similar result today. And 3 points today would be huge for them. If the Devonport Strikers were to beat the Zebras here today, that might prove an insurmountable task for the Zebras to overcome in the chase for the NPL Tas Championship this season.
Devonport SAP program, Devonport Junior under 12
players walk out
competing in the King
onto the pitch with the officials.
I'll introduce the players. Joy Yarmstead, Remedy Chilcott, William Higgins.
Might be able to hear the voice of Rod Andrews echoing around Valley Road as he introduces the game today.
Oakley Vella, George Shan, Zach Morris,
And he's also introducing the young men that are accompanying the Devonport Strikers players out today.
They're also running a raffle, so you'll see the kids later on support their trip. So please give generously to the raffle. Great opportunity to support the juniors. A couple of milestones today, ladies and gents, too. We have Daniel Syson playing his 50th NPL game. Congratulations, Daniel, and all the best for today. A big thanks to our sponsors, particularly
I've heard Rod Andrews there saying that Daniel Syson plays his 50th NPL game today. Of course, many of those with Devonport and some successful games for Devonport, but also some games with Launceston City as their captain in previous seasons. As players move in to their huddle. A big game. The Zebras and Devonport have only lost once each this season. Devonport at the hand of the Zebras and Zebras at the hand of South. Zebras have drawn a number of games this year, which sees them trailing Devonport by a number of points on the ladder. But they are looking to close the gap on Devonport today. Both David Smith, coach of the Zebras, and Rick Coughlin will have G'd their players up prior to kick-off today, knowing the importance of this fixture as these big four clashes are always the ones that shape the season. Devonport have obviously had some terrific results in the last few years. The Zebras have always been a high-quality team, but haven't quite managed to secure a championship, always falling short to the likes of the other top four teams, your Devonport, South Hobart and Olympia, who've taken the crown in previous years. And Zebras know the importance of today's game in trying to secure their first NPL championship. A very fetching pink number for the Hobart Zebras today, as you can see on screen there. Not their traditional white and black strip. Club once known as Hobart Juventus, which is why they wear that traditional white and black generally. But the away pink strip today, and Devonport as ever in their blue and gold colours. Guillermo Lascano out today for the Devonport Strikers, I should add, and is a big omission for Devonport. He's unavailable, so it looks like Raph Reynolds has slotted back next to Kieran Mulroney in defence. Todd Hingston will play in the holding midfield role today. Syson and John Poley further forward, Stone at 9, Bidwell and Fitzgerald on the wings as they get ourselves underway here at the Portress Valley Road. Round 11 NPL Taz action, and we are only some 10 seconds in, and the first free kick is given. It'll be a free kick to the Devonport Strikers. Raph Reynolds, perhaps somewhat oddly, wearing the number 9 on his back. Not particularly a defender's number. But this defender wearing an attacking shirt will put an attacking ball into the box. It's clipped up high, bobbles around, and is cleared away by Walsh. Easily identifiable because of that terrific beard. Fitzgerald clips it in behind to Giampoli, making a clever run, and is cleared away. As Zebras secure possession, they play out through Walsh. So we switch it towards Fag, but it's intercepted by Bidwell, but he gives it back when maybe taking a touch and bringing it down was the better option. Watman in goals with the ball. Fag on the ball. I'm not sure where he was particularly trying to pass that to, but it comes now over to Dylan for the Zebras. Into Muller, then to Yonazawa, to the feet of Hoogsley, who tries to turn, but the ball is pinched by Raf Reynolds. Back to Mulroney. So Devonport's Spanish centre-back. Lascano unavailable today, so a different centre-back pairing in Mulroney and Reynolds. Reynolds long up towards Bidwell over the head of Yonazawa on the right wing here for the Devonport Strikers. It's one-on-one. No one really able to support Yonazawa, and Bidwell runs at him, and Bidwell wins a corner. Our first corner of today's fixture, some 2 minutes in. Senior screens there, Bidwell trying to get past Yonazawa, but Yonazawa holding his feet, putting the ball out behind. And Reynolds will roll forward and take this corner as well. Designated dead ball specialist for the Devonport Strikers. Reynolds into the box again. It bounces around. Zebra's not looking particularly comfortable with these balls into the box, but they've got away with it here. See in the replay, Reynolds putting it into the box. And it looks like it may be just bouncing off the Devonport player there, off his shin, going behind. Zebras play out from the back again. Watman to Fag, who goes long up the line towards Dylan, and Park puts it behind. No, it's kept in by Reynolds. Hingston on it now. Also running a bit, but Hingston's given it away. An excellent chance for the Zebras. He tries to pass it in the back of the net, and it's a goal! And Lightning strikes twice. The Hobart Zebras again off to a fast start. Hingston trying to switch the ball, passed without looking probably, and it was pinched by the Zebras and then slowed it comfortably into the back of the net. A terrific finish into the bottom corner, just where keepers don't like it. So here's Hingston on the ball. He tries to pass it back, but pinched. It looks by Pace, and Pace has put it into the back of the net. Very, very early on, and it is deja vu, as the Zebras once again off to a fast start, just like a few weeks ago when they beat the Devonport Strikers 2-1. Fitzgerald now attacking for Devonport as they look to undo that early mistake. Zebras playing out through Hay there, and Walsh maybe a little bit too delicate in that back corner, nearly giving it away. So here's again a replay on your screens. Hingston looking to find Smith, and then Pace, a terrific finish from the top of the box, just curling it into the bottom corner. Smith was going for the overlap, and Hingston was looking to play it back to Smith because he thought Smith might be dropping off to pick up the ball, and that confusion allowed Pace to pick up the ball and didn't allow Pitchford, who wasn't anticipating turning the ball over there, perhaps to get into the best position, and Pitchford caught out by a terrific finish as Walsh doesn't particularly clear the ball well here. Stone has a chance to turn, plays it to Fitzgerald here on the left wing. The ball into the box to the back post, stands it up for Bidwell, heads it across goal, but it is cleared away by Geordie Muller, who touches nicely to Hoogsley, and a chance for them to play out back to Muller. Bidwell on him, does well to shield the ball. Comes to Dylan, who looks to return the pass to Muller, but it's turned over, and Devonport give it back to the Zebras, and Henry Fagg will play it out to Watman, the Kiwi. Not a particularly good ball, and Hingston bounces it high. It's going to be a contest between Little and Fitzgerald, and Little does well enough to get it back to his number one. As everyone in the ground draws collective breath as Watman plays it long up the field. Ball bouncing around. Hoogsley finally gets it down, finding Pace out on the right wing here. He has a chance to run at Smith. Smith stands him up and does well. Devonport Strikers left back. It will be a throw to the Zebras though. So tremendous start for Zebras here on the road. It's a long trip down, and called the Fortress for a good reason. It is a fortress here for the Devonport Strikers. Very hard for visiting teams to come and get a result here. Traditionally, even in seasons where Devonport haven't had terrific years, it's always been hard to get a result here as Pitchford pulls out the pitching wedge there a little bit and gets under it and slices it a little, and it's going to be a throw for the Zebras. Yonazawa. I think I left back today, Yonazawa. Looks to play a 1-2 with Matty Sanders. Looks like he might have had a trim from last time I saw him on the screen. Obviously the leading goal scorer, scored 14 or 15 goals this year, Matty Sanders, so he's looking to add to his tally here today against Devonport. He leads the competition. Surprisingly, Devonport don't have anyone in the top 5 or 6 of their leading goal scorers, an even spread of goal scorers for Devonport. In fact, Devonport's leading goal scorer this season with 6 goals, Miles Barnard, sits on the bench today. But the Devonport have shared the goals around. Fitzgerald and Jumpoli have 4. Syson has a few. Stone has 2. Bidwell 5. So they have shared it around. The Zebras have certainly had some good goal scoring options too, as we know, with Sanders and Pace has scored a number. Edwards is a miss for the Zebras today after his red card last week against South, and his goals and his threat forward could prove the difference today. As Devonport get forward, but Fag across neatly to deal with that one. Throw in. Stone has a few for company, jumps past them, but is deemed to have impeded little. See here, ball coming to Stone's feet, tries a turn and tries to shift the ball past Little, who gets his body in between and Stone and the ball, and Stone just grabbed Little there and pulled him down. Game stopped. Not sure why. Oh, the linesman is fixing his shoelace. The game is paused. Obviously didn't run the double knot as he put them on. It's terrific TED talk about doing up your shoelaces too, which I can highly recommend. But back to the action. Hoogsloot forward for the Zebras. Back into the side today. Clips it wide towards Dylan. Dylan has Park for company. Cuts inside and shoots. Straight at Pitchford, but a good shift of the way. Dropped the shoulder left, moved right, and then curled his shot, but directly Pitchford didn't quite get the directional power that perhaps he hoped for there, Riley Dylan. So switch from Hoogsloot, a good ball. Dropped the shoulder left, left Park behind, cut inside and fired his shot, but as I said, directly at Pitchford, and Pitchford would have been glad to pick that one up. Devonport don't want to go too behind again like they did a few weeks back. Mulroney. To Jumpoli, he touches to Fitzgerald, who can use his pace now. Jaden Hay chasing back. No foul deemed on Fitzgerald there. Controversial call from the official perhaps, as Pace has it now. He tries to go past Hingston, who's bustled off it by Hoogsloot. Jumpoli grabs at Hoogsloot and continues to grab at him. And the free kick given now, and the Devonport bench throw their arms, gesticulating wildly at the official, suggesting that perhaps there should have been a free kick for Fitzgerald earlier in that play. So you can see Jumpoli clearly interfering with Hoogsloot, and Hoogsloot throws himself down. As play went on, and ball fired over the bar from the Zebras, so goal kick to the Devonport Strikers here, some 10 minutes played. As you see here on the screen, there was that free kick, and the Devonport bench were up in arms. Pitchford, many consider him to be the state's #1 and certainly has the defensive record to prove that. Sfag clears. Jumpoli traps it, but slips as he does so. Jaden Hay looks to play the ball forward. Mulroney thumps it towards Fitzgerald. I'm not sure how deliberate that was from Mulroney, but Fitzgerald's touch let him down a little bit on the wing there, and Dwayne Walsh will take the throw in. Also a Mitsubishi medalist, Dwayne Walsh. Catches the eye of the officials with his bombing runs down the wing and the hair and the beard. As Park flies in on Dillon and the ball dinked over the top. And the official has a word with Dillon there. Let's have a look at this. Raf Reynolds gets the ball first, and then just a push from Dillon, who knew he wasn't getting to the ball. The official just had a word with Dillon to say, no more of that, please. As Raf Reynolds gives the ball away to Dillon, who plays it towards the ever-threatening Sanders, but Devonport now can counter through Bidwell and Syson. Syson's touch heavy, and Yonazawa pinches, but Stone, with those wonderful, wonderful feet, traps it now, moves Devonport forward. Stone with it again. Yonazawa. I think one of the best players to watch in NPL Tas, Joel Stone. Smith, long up towards the run of Syson. He's made a run from midfield. Fitzgerald also in there, and he bounces into Little, and it's won a corner for the Devonport Strikers. It's the long ball into the corner. Syson, Little, and Fitzgerald all go at it, and Little just puts it behind with the assistance of Fitzgerald, who also put Little behind. Reynolds wanders over to take the corner. Devonport having more of the ball in general play, and Reynolds sits it up to the back post. Watman does well. The big man with big hands, clean hands on that occasion. Throws out to Little. Clips it up to nobody in particular, and Park then kind of heads it in the direction of no one in particular. Yonazawa, clever with his head, finds Dillon. Jaden Hay drives forward. Finds Dillon on the left. He's got Park. A nice ball from Dillon. Pitchford, excellent off his line. Comes and collects and throws up towards Stone, who has a chance to turn. He's got Muller for company. Shakes him as he moves down the wing. He'll cut back inside on his right foot. Looks to clip behind to Syson, but just overplayed the pass. Terrific throw from Hotman there on your screen. You got an excellent angle of the pace and spin and the way he flung the ball towards Dillon. As the Zebra secure possession, Hay turns, finds Muller, who's got a chance to look forward. He gets his head up, dribbles, 2 touches, 3 touches, nearly gave it away. Has given it away, no. The ball stayed in. Pace now running at the Devonport Strikers at Hingston. Slips in behind to Walsh. It's a beautiful little ball, but well defended from Smith. Pace running at Hingston there. Plays the ball between centre-back and full-back to the overlapping run of Walsh. They're the balls that are so dangerous. They're the balls that Pep Guardiola of Barcelona and Bayern Munich and Manchester City now, that he likes his 10s to play. Likes his wide men to cut in and slip the ball between centre-back and full-back. But the ball comes over now, headed clear by Joel Stone. Walsh across. Dillon on the opposite flank. Fitzgerald does well to block. Another corner for the Hobart Zebras. Dillon has found himself on the opposite flank, goes past Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald perhaps impeding, Fitzgerald perhaps impeded Dillon there. Dillon over, it's a dangerous ball in the box, but Hingston heads that clear, and the match manager's going to have to go and fetch that one as the bearded wonder put that behind for another Zebras corner. Ball comes over, headed clear again by Hingston. Pace, Walsh. Park clears for Devonport. Bidwell has a chance to open up now, look forward, find the feet of Syson, who cuts inside. Bidwell looks up the line towards Jumpoli. The pass not quite on, but flung in, and Walsh didn't deal with it particularly well on Yonazawa. Just flicks it out, allows Zebras a chance to fall back into shape. So 15 minutes played here, and the Hobart Zebras lead 1-0. The crowd here at Devonport a little muted by the early goal to the Zebras, and we're looking for Devonport to spark them back into life. Plenty of time in this contest left. Park towards Stone, but intercepted, and Yonazawa clears up to Sanders, who tries to chest down to Hoogsley, but is won by Reynolds. Hingston tries to clip it over to Fitzgerald, but only gets as far as Walsh. And Walsh tries to attack. Walsh perhaps fouled. Oh. Thought he might have paid advantage there, but you can see the ball. Walsh touched heavy. Fitzgerald stole it. Fitzgerald was moving forward, but the whistle was blown pretty much straight away, in fact, so no chance for advantage. And Devonport had the ball in a very attacking position. So Lionel Messi against Devonport in the Lionel Messi against Liverpool in the semi-finals of the Champions League recently, 5-1 into the top corner from this distance. Can we see an effort similar from Reynolds or Hingston? Reynolds to take straight into the wall. The wall does its job and cleared away. Fitzgerald didn't want to use his keeper to switch the ball, instead turns and now finds Hingston as important in attacking position. And delicate little dink dealt with by Yonazawa, and little to clear up the line. Hingston best placed, heads down. Fitzgerald comes over to Stone. Devonport a chance to attack now. Jumpoli to Stone. Perhaps shaped to shoot there, Jumpoli instead, but so into Stone. Smith tries to pinch it off Pace, who tries to turn him. Pace does well to shoot against the bigger and stronger Smith. And then Sison comes through and collects man and ball as he puts it out for throw-in. So there's Smith wrestling with Pace, and then Sison over from the blind side of Pace, and he put it behind Pace, the goal scorer today. The ball back in play. Reynolds. Back to Pitchford. It's a few touches. Nothing particularly on short, so the game slows down momentarily. Ball comes long towards Stone, who's probably outnumbered here, but he does well to win the header. Cleared by Little straight to Hingston. Stone now has dropped deep in midfield. Sison slides into that 9 position while Stone has dropped deep. Hingston on the left foot swings a decent ball out to Fitzgerald. Walsh wrestles him. Fitzgerald gets the better of Walsh. Fitzgerald driving into the box, the ball across, clipped clear. Yonazawa heads clear. Devonport got an attacking position there, but Dylan and Yonazawa will look to move the ball out for the Zebras. But Sanders cutting a bit of an isolated figure up the top at the moment. He hasn't seen much of the ball. I couldn't tell you the last time I called his name. The ball not right there from Jumpoli. Kiwi Watman. Hoogsley wins that advantage. Paid perhaps, or just told to play on. Pace to Hoogsley, who will shoot on the left foot. Looks like it came off Sanders. Pitchford will gladly scoop that up and launches Devonport forward. Bit of slice on that one. Bidwell can't keep that one in. Hoogsley shot here on the left foot. And it did ricochet straight off Sanders and just rolled simply to Pitchford, who is happy to collect that one. Yonazawa with the throw-in. Up towards the head of Hay. Oh, Sanders, sorry. Who tried to flick it over to Dylan. Sanders wearing the captain's armband for the Hobart Zebras today. Playing directly against the captain of Devonport, Cam Mulroney. Centre back and centre forward against each other today as Jaden Hay drives forward, puts the ball to Dylan, who has a chance to run at Park. Will he cut inside again? He does. Gets the better of him again, looks to play it off Hay, but not quite the right play there for the Zebras. 21 minutes in. No real Chances particularly creative for either side, as we see here, the Zebras. Shot from Hoots Loop, which comes off Sanders. Long throw in. Mulroney up well against Hoogsloot, and Pace heads down, but only as far as Stone. Lays it back to Smith. He gets it back to Stone, has a chance to turn now. Stone looking to play the ball in between centre back and full back, and a yellow card for a late challenge from Little. The Stone have a chance to turn there. Could have laid it to Hingston, but tried to play the ball in behind early to Bidwell. But Little picking up a yellow card there as he tried to impede or block the ball as Stone played it forward and instead just caught Stone. And so a good yellow card correctly called from the official there for that late challenge from Little. Reynolds plays it forward, headed clear by Hoogsloot. Walsh now has it. He plays it up towards Sanders, who's got Fitzgerald for company. Good feed from Sanders. Zebras. Little played long there. A few of his teammates were screaming at him to switch the ball, and they weren't well pleased when he just played it long up the field. Yonezawa back to Watman. Thumps it up towards Reynolds and Sanders. They jump. Give that one to Reynolds. Mulroney tries to find Bidwell, but just puts it out of play, and I don't see either side getting into a particularly good rhythm here. Watman, his clearance wasn't great. Thundered into the head of Sarson, who's now collecting himself. He was laces out and hit Sarson. Jumpoli, don't know how he spotted the run of Fitzgerald there, but nearly got it to him. Rolled out to Fag. Finds the feet of Dillon. Drops it to Yonezawa. Hoogsloot controls that well with his hip. Sanders gets a bobble and bounces off his shin, but has found Yonezawa. His touch is heavy. Sarson pinches it. Jumpoli has a chance to pick up the ball in space, does well to shield the ball, gets it to Stone, who has a couple to beat and does. Devonport needed some options forward now. Stone looks for a long switch towards Fitzgerald, and Watman a little unsecure with his hands there, and he's eventually got it behind for a corner. So Watman spilled that one there as he was running back with the flight of the ball, and just mishandled and nearly allowed Fitzgerald to get in. But another corner for Devonport. Quite a number of corners in this game. It's provided the real attacking avenue for both sides at the moment. Either side really getting it done in the final third. It's the ball into the box again. Zebra's clear. Stone jumps with Muller. Comes down to Fitzgerald, who hits it. Ooh, over the bar. And Watman, as goalkeepers do, flung himself into the air in a spectacular dive. Controlled off the chest from Fitzgerald. Doesn't quite get over it, though. Doesn't quite get his body over the ball. A difficult skill to execute there off the chest, and then to get over it to get it on goal. Sanders has it now. He's tackled by Bidwell to Hay. Hay a long switch towards Pace, but only to the head of Smith, who heads back. And Pitchford will race over and play it back into his own box so he can pick it up. 25 minutes gone. Pitchford. Long up towards Stone, who has two to jump with. Ball comes down, Sarson, best place to pick it up. Flicks that over towards Park. We'll have to play back. Does well enough just before Dillon gets there. Reynolds. Stone. Well tackled by Fag. Hingston. Dillon. Deemed to have handled the ball. The young official having a word with Dillon. It's the second time he's spoken to Dillon, in fact, today. I would expect next time Dylan infringes, there might be a slice of cheese for him. Little, the only person with a slice of cheese today. Fitzgerald gives it up. Semper's now the chance to play. Good vision from who's leading a good ball. Hay rolls it off his shin towards Dylan, who has Bidwell. Muller has a chance to come over, pick it up in space and get his head up. Plays it towards Yonazawa. He's offside. Again, it's been very much a midfield battle at the moment. Both sides struggling to find those passes in the final third. See them create chances. Sides have knocked the ball around well at times. Pitchford. Long dealt by Little. He heads it down to Fitzgerald though. Passes Fitzgerald to Jumpoli. He drops it for Stone. He hits it to Sison. He clips it towards Fitzgerald. Oh, that would have been lovely. And it nearly is. And it's a goal, but the official has blown. I am not sure. Is it perhaps one of those cases of protecting the goalkeeper? And there seems to be words elsewhere on the pitch here between Hay and Mulroney. Watman hurt as Fitzgerald flew in with his feet into that challenge. Beautiful play by the Devonport strikers. As you can see here, the touch from Jumpoli to Stone to Sison to Fitzgerald, who ran in. It looks like Watman perhaps collected the ball and maybe had it secure, which would mean Fitzgerald challenging for it could be deemed a free kick. Either way, Watman is hurt and down, and the referee is blowing the whistle. And after the challenge between Fitzgerald and Watman, the ball spilt back to Fitzgerald, who lay on the ground as well, and he just flicked it into the back of the net. Before he did that, though, the whistle had already blown. I wonder if VAR were in play here, what the resulting decision would be. Perhaps the same. Here it is again. Some lovely one-touch football. Bounce from Fitzgerald to Jumpoli to Stone to Sison, and then is that a 50-50 challenge? Looks a bit like it to me. But we know goalkeepers are a protected species, and if you're a Hobart Zebras fan, you would expect that to be given a free kick 100% of the time when you see the goalkeeper and forward flying together. Fitzgerald could also argue left his feet in making that challenge. Maybe it's one of those challenges you don't particularly like to see, with the keeper throwing himself head first and hands first at the ball. Here is the goal. Hingston giving it away to Pace, who finished expertly past the flying Pitchford, who flew low down to his left. But when you're attacking and you're shooting the ball, that bottom corner of the goal is where you want to pick out. Pace did that expertly there. He was very grateful and surprised perhaps to pick up the ball from Hingston in that opportunity to attack, and he saw the Pitchford perhaps wasn't best placed as soon as he got his head up and had taken the touch and took the shot on early and punished Devonport. Half an hour played. Watman deemed to be okay to continue. Hingston, beautiful touch to bring that down. Plays it towards Bidwell, is perhaps on his heels, or perhaps looking for a ball in behind. But Reynolds now clips it up again towards Jumpoli. He tries to shield the ball, but comes to Hoogs loop. Hingston, Dylan. Pitchford having to clear there. Pace closing him down. So beautiful sunny day here in Devonport, the Portress, Valley Road, home of the Devonport Strikers. The sun is out, there's not much wind about. Good conditions for football, but we haven't quite seen this game explode to life yet. certainly not in the same way the Zebras and South did in their 5-4 result last week.
That's cool, mate.
Pull forward. Middle now with Syson putting him under a bit of pressure. He tries to find pace. Pace Smith. Giampoli in quickly, the diminutive Argentinian. He finds Stone who can turn. He cuts back. Keeps the ball. Hingston touches heavy. Pinched by Pace. Hingston wins it back. Turns, loses man. He's got time now, Hingston. Can he drive forward? He does. He tries to get into Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald touches round Little. Fitzgerald with 5 Zebras players on him. Can't beat them all. And between the Zebras players at the back there, they work it out. And Watman. Sandwich out for that one, I think. Got right under it. Straight up in the air, but the Zebras can attack now through Muller and Dylan. Yonezawa coming on an overlapping run, but Dylan carries it forward, so ignores the run of Yonezawa. Park defends well, though, and he plays it up the line. It'll be a Hobart Zebras throw. Sanders, he grabs it Reynolds, so a free kick for the Devonport Strikers.
I think he's got something for you, Raph.
Here's Fitzgerald taking on the 4 Zebras players. Nearly got the better of them, but Walsh did well. And between the Zebras back 5, they worked it out. Mulroney now for Devonport. He goes long up towards Fitzgerald, who heads down, cleared by Little. Didn't get his head up, could have taken a touch perhaps. Little had a bit more time than he thought, instead just thumped it forward. Mulroney now, Smith, Hingston, Smith, too much, Pace, Walsh. Park down, Giampoli with a chance to get his head up and turn. What can the Argentinian create? Goes past Muller. Devonport getting in attacking position here into the final third. They've let him run. Stone, oh. Got that all wrong, Joel Stone. An excellent run from Giampoli. Drew the defenders. Syson bounced it nicely to Stone, who just adjusted himself a little so he could hit it on his right foot instead of his left, and perhaps didn't find himself quite balanced as he struck that one, and he sliced across it, which saw it go high and wide. And the kids behind the goal, giving those kind of Bronx cheers as Watman takes the goal kicks, loving the work of the juniors there behind the goal. 10 minutes to play in this first half. 2 of the best sides in Tasmania NPL going out. Devonport Strikers currently sit atop the table and the Zebras in 4th, but it is the Zebras who are atop the Strikers at the moment with a 1-0 lead. Pace's early goal, the only difference. Park fires it in towards Syson, whose touch is good. Can he get the ball across for Devonport? He does. Not the cross that he or his teammates or the fans in the ground were hoping for. And kids behind the goal gladly collected that and threw it back to Samuel Watman in goals. You'll get the Bronx cheers here again. Here's the replaying the screens of Giampoli, the good run, the lovely touch from Syson. And you think you see what Sam was trying to perhaps do there, cut across it and bend it back inside the right or the left-hand post there. But Devonport in now, Fitzgerald cut it in, Giampoli. Hill, Stone touches it around. Yonezawa fires, but Yonezawa does enough. As Devonport getting a grip of this game now, finding some space at the top of the 18-yard box, and Zebras are finding themselves under a bit of pressure here. Devonport throw. Throw in. Cleared by Fag. Here's Fitzgerald. Giampoli, an excellent back heel there to Stone. Saw the shot was going to be blocked. Yonezawa did well to recover and put Stone under pressure, which eventually saw it out for throw-in. Throw-in for Devonport though again. Syson. Looking to clip it over towards Stone, but didn't quite get it right, and instead sailed harmlessly over the goals of the Hobart Zebras, and a goal kick will be the result. At this point, Smith and Coughlin will be thinking about their half-time speeches as Watman gets the Bronx cheers from the kids again. Champoli brings that down nicely. Tries the back heel again, this time finds Stone. Goes to Smith, comes forward to Fitzgerald, but cut out by the bearded Walsh. Fitzgerald, Hay, Walsh. Bigsley does well to shoot it from Smith, but only toe pokes it to Fitzgerald, who can run here a little. He gets past them all, perhaps. Yonazawa over well, helping out his back four. The throw to Stone, who controls it with his shin, but holds on to it to Sison, who's in a chance to put the ball into the box, and he does, but goes out for a corner ball. There's Fitzgerald, who looks like on the replay there, trying to keep possession, threw himself at it and perhaps caught, maybe it was Yonazawa there late. So be careful with those challenges. Reynolds. Corner for Devonport, another corner for Devonport, and punch clear by Watman, who did that well. Out to Giampoli, who can fire in. Walsh blocks, and then not particularly well cleared by Little. It bounces around, comes to Mulroney, comes off his shin to Bidwell. He's got Hay for company. Bidwell into the, oh no, it's Park into the box. Sorry, Park now with the honours out for company, tries to flick it over, and another corner for the Devonport Strikers. Must be up towards double figures. As Bidwell comes over to retrieve a ball, so Devonport can get this corner underway. The ball has been retrieved elsewhere. Stone, short corner for Devonport. Given time and space, Stone puts it into the box. A dangerous ball from Stone. Mulroney takes on Hoogsley, cleared away. Yonazawa now have a chance to play it up towards the very isolated pace. And Devonport have been well on top here these last 10-15 minutes. In many ways, this is starting to reflect the game down at KG5, where Zebras pinched a couple of goals or found some joy early, and then Devonport controlled the game, and this is shaping up similarly. Zebras taking their chance early. As Watman comes, nearly got it wrong. Ball, searching ball from Hingston there towards Fitzgerald. Oh, Fitzgerald couldn't quite get his touch right, and Watman, who mistimed his run off his line, was grateful to see the ball into his arms. Sison towards Bidwell, has Yonazawa for company, touches around him. Now he's got Fag. Can Bidwell go past him? He has got the pace, he cuts it across, but the near post ball wasn't read by his teammates, and Watman dived on it. Yonazawa with a chance to play it forward now for the Zebras. He does so under the pressure of Bidwell. Hingston intercepts, but Bidwell is deemed to have pushed Yonazawa in the back, or perhaps played him after he passed the ball, and so the Zebras will take a free kick. Hoogsley. Sison toe pokes it out, oh, perhaps off Muller, so it is a Devonport throw.
Okay, we've had 5 minutes to go at half-time. Kids, if you want to take part in the Total Performance Sports half-time penalty shootout, you've got a gift voucher from TPS up for grabs. Make your way down to the entrance to the ground.
Oh, we love those challenges here in NPL Taz. There's Who's Luke and Reynolds flying in, and what I love most is that both of them just got back up and got on with it. Terrific stuff from those two. Oh, a lovely ball from Muller out towards Dillon. There was a chance to whip it across for the Zebras now. Zebras players arriving. Sanders in the box. He's got two Devonport players for company, and the numbers win out there. There's Jumpoli now. Devonport have a chance to counter-attack. They move it quickly to Stone, who turns little, plays it towards Fitzgerald, who's got a battle for pace on with Walsh. Fitzgerald and a chance to shoot for Devonport. He squares it instead, perhaps to Bidwell, who couldn't quite get there. Was it a shot? If it was, it's gone well across the face and has stayed in play. A terrific counter-attack there from the Devonport strikers. Park has it now on the edge of the box. Finds a teammate. Hingston turns Hoogslude. Hingston on the left foot, he shoots. Blocked by Hoogslude, who stayed with him. Hoogslude into the 11 today, but here's the play from Devonport strikers. Fitzgerald in after the lovely ball from Stone. Outpaces Walsh, and was he firing that towards the back post? I think he was, perhaps squaring it for Bidwell, who was hoping would arrive late, but here he is again. Fitzgerald. Ever-present menace on that wing. He goes past a couple here. Fitzgerald, what can he produce now? He's just got Walsh to beat. No, Little, sorry. Devonport plays appeal that perhaps Little pulled him down, but Little fairly winning that challenge. Pace, the goal scorer. Into Little, who's moved into midfield. Hoogslude. And his ball, no one in particular. Reynolds fires it out towards Bidwell, who has a one-on-one now with Yonezawa. We know Bidwell has the pace. He cuts it inside. Here comes Syson for the Devonport strikers, and what a save! An incredible save from Watman. He used his feet to save that one in the... When you thought for sure, for all the money in the world, that Syson had the goals at his beckoning. But here in the 43rd minute, a wonderful save from Watman. Syson, you thought for certain he had to finish that opportunity. Beautiful first touch from Syson, saw him in on goals, but Watman did just enough to spoil his day. A terrific save from Watman, who keeps Zebras ahead in this contest, as Bidwell and Syson nearly combined to put Devonport level here later on in this first half, which the ball in now from Reynolds. Cleared away again by the Zebras. Devonport well on top in this contest. Fitzgerald, Smith, Stone, flying tackle there from Little. Stone, Reynolds. Can't do enough there, and Zebras a chance to counter-attack. Fitzgerald spins and keeps it, and he and Riley Dillon wrestle. Riley Dillon's definitely going to go on the book here because the officials had a couple of words to him, and a slice of cheese for Dillon. So Fitzgerald spins there. So not surprised to see Riley Dillon pick up that slice of cheese, the second Zebras player to do so today. Half-time approaching. Feel Rick Coughlin maybe you don't want half-time to approach because Devonport are looking dangerous. What a save from Watman to keep the Zebras ahead though. Syson will be disappointed not to have lifted that perhaps past the keeper. Went for a cue finish from perhaps just putting his laces through it into the back of the net. Might have been a better option. Jumpoli showing some wonderful skill. He switches the ball to Smith. Devonport continue to threaten. Smith tries the ball behind the fullback, doesn't quite work. Hingston picks it up, finds Smith again as there is a little wind around Valley Road now. Little just thumps it clear as the Zebras playing for half time. And Sanders smashes into Hingston, who's in some pain in the middle of the park. I think the official might have played advantage because that was clearly a foul. Sanders nowhere near the ball. Syson has it now. Stone. And pitching wedge effort from Joel Stone there. So here's this altercation. Sanders just got there too early. The ball was not quite there yet. So instead of playing the ball, he played the man and also landed on Hingston too, which I think was the issue. Not so much the initial hit in the back, but I think his foot might have come down on Hingston as he came down. Sanders perhaps venting a bit of frustration there, given that Devonport have been on top and he hasn't seen as much of the ball as perhaps he'd like. Here's a chance again. Syson touching past Zebras there, and Watman, that trailing right foot David De Gea like. De Gea, Manchester United keeper, makes plenty of saves with his feet. Renowned for it in goalkeeping circles, and a De Gea-like effort from Watman there, the Kiwi. Devonport in possession again. Reynolds toes it towards Jumpoli. What a great pass, and Zebra's on it now. Muller, Yonezawa, Dylan, Hoogsloot has a chance to pull the trigger here. Does. Mulroney throws himself in the way. The ball rockets into his head, and the official rightly stops play immediately as Mulroney has gone down. Officials told that for head knocks they are to stop play, and the official is well and truly onto that one. Good to see. Mulroney is a tough character, and no doubt he'll shake that off, pick himself up. So we tick into the final moments of the half. I imagine this is probably going to be it as soon as Watman kicks this long. We're into the 3rd minute of added time here. Riley Dillon in the box for the Zebras. A last late chance here. He does well to cut back in, but Park held his feet well enough and clips it up towards Devonport to try to play out now, but Muller does well to come across, and the ball has gone out of play. The linesman doing his job. Park fires it towards Bidwell. Yonezawa puts it out. In the 4th minute of added time here in this first half. I don't know if we've had 4 minutes worth of stoppages. We certainly had the long stoppage for Watman when he looked to have taken a knock in the challenge to Fitzgerald, but we continue to play. Oh, Bidwell, tackled by Yonezawa there, plays it into the box. It falls to Stone, who puts his effort wide. A remarkable sequence of events there as Bidwell picked up the ball. It looked like he was tackled by Yonezawa, maybe could have gone down. So Bidwell drives into the box, tackled by Yonezawa there, holds his feet when most people would have thrown themselves to the ground screaming for a penalty. Watman cleared only to the feet of Stone, who on his left foot poked it wide. Bidwell perhaps to be commended for holding his feet from the Yonezawa challenge, but I certainly know that I would have gone over in a screaming heap then in a hope of winning a penalty. But as it is, despite a late flurry, it remains 1-0 at the break. Hobart Zebras. Devonport have certainly had more of the play, but it is the Zebras who lead. Coughlin and Smith will earn their money here, their halftime talk. Tactically, motivationally, this is where they're called on to make a change in this game. See the replay of the difference maker there in this game. Matthew Pace sliding into the bottom left-hand corner of the goals, past the despairing dive of Nathan Pitchford in goals of Devonport, Todd Hingston, and Dominic Smith getting their wires a little crossed there, allowing Pace the opportunity to play that into the back of the net. You'll see some other highlights on your screen from the first half. So we're back in around 15 minutes time. Devonport Strikers fans might actually expect a substitution here at half-time because Todd Hingston is limping off the ground here with his boots off with the assistance of the physio. So maybe a change in midfield for Devonport at half-time. We'll see what happens though. 1-0 remains to the Hobart Zebras. We'll see you 10-15 minutes time for the resumption and the second half in this round 11 fixture between the Devonport Strikers and the Hobart Zebras in NPL Tas. to Fitzgerald, but only gets as far as Walsh. And Walsh tries to attack. Walsh perhaps fouled. Ooh. So to Stone. Smith tries to pinch it off Pace. He tries to turn him. Pace does well to shoot against the bigger and stronger Smith. And Syson. Hoogsley wins it. Advantage paid perhaps, or just told to play on. Pace to Hoogsley, who will shoot on the left foot. So it came off Sanders. It's defeated Dylan. Drops it to Yonazawa. Hoogsley controls that well with his hip. Long switch towards Fitzgerald, and Watman a little unsecure with his hands there, and he's eventually got it back. It was clear. Stone jumps with Muller, comes down to Fitzgerald, who hits it. Ooh, over the bar. And Reynolds, Stone, well tackled by Fag. Hingston, Dylan deemed to have handled the ball. Gerald though asks Fitzgerald to jump pole. He drops it for Stone. He hits it to Syson, who clips it towards Fitzgerald. Oh, that would have been lovely, and it nearly is, and it's a goal, but the official has blown. I am not. Can he drive forward? He does. He tries to get into Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald touches round little. Fitzgerald with 5 Zebras players on him. Can't beat them all. Devonport getting in attacking position here. Into the final third. They've let him run. Stone. Oh. And post there. But Devonport in now. Fitzgerald cut it in. Jampoli. Back heel. Stone touches it around. Yonazawa fires, but Yonazawa does enough. Yeah, a little. He gets past them all, perhaps. Yonazawa over well early, and then Devonport control the game, and this is shaping up similarly. Zebras taking their chance early. As Watman comes, nearly got it wrong. Oh, we love those challenges here in NPL tags. Little plays towards Fitzgerald, who's got a battle for pace on with Walsh. Fitzgerald and a chance to shoot for Devonport. He squares it instead, perhaps to Bidwell, who couldn't quite get there. Was it a shot? If it was, it's gone well. Present menace on that wing. He goes past a couple here. Fitzgerald, what can he produce now? He's just got Walsh to beat. No, Little, sorry. Devonport plays appeal to perhaps Little. You know, Bidwell has the pace. He cuts it inside. Here comes Syson for the Devonport Strikers, and what a save! An incredible save from Watman. He used. Can't do enough there, and Zebra's a chance to counter-attack. Fitzgerald spins and keeps it, and he and Riley Dillon wrestle. Riley Dillon's definitely going to go. Valley Road now. Little just thumps it clear as the Zebra's playing for half-time. And Sanders. Muller, Yonazawa, Dillon, Hoogsley has a chance to pull the trigger here. Does. Mulroney throws himself in the way. The ball rockets into his head, and the official. We continue to play. Oh, Bidwell, tackled by Yonazawa there, plays it into the box. It falls to Stone, who puts his effort wide.
That's where you could play Clinton as centre back and put Cleveland. Yeah. Because I reckon Clinton's solid, but I think he loses his line. He doesn't get
Clinton there as a 6.
Yeah.
And then you play
yeah. And then your front three is
what? Who? love to see it. Got back to around 8. But we could have stacked the ratings.
Just that last time. I'm sure I enjoyed it.
They would have won that. They did the same thing. Yeah, doing that one. He was on the cover, he was on the third out, and then whoever... No, he did. As soon as the ball went through that line, you were already out. You was running. You was running. Yeah, but like you didn't even give the defense a chance to react. You just gone. Like if they knocked that one past you, that's really not helpful. You're going to win before you get through there. It's like before the defense comes in.
On there or on places? Everyone gets it. No, that's it.
It's not box tape, yeah.
You said you didn't like it. What's your head, mate?
Hands. Oh, left hand. Jerry's gonna pull out his absolute
Like Croft last week, we brought you off, you were like, you played like shit. And I was like, oh, Croft, that's harsh. That's stiff.
Oh, it's in the pocket! What a shot!
That was stiff. I thought that was good. That was great.
Amazing says, right? No, he was good.
Yeah, he's taking it this. I know, but I still think it was very stiff.
That was a great one.
One hander. Go for 2 shots, bro. You go?
I ain't been on a
What have you got? What do you like? Big ball, no, yeah.
I might say half
Or the ball,
yeah.
Sorry, that was good on.
He's got this.
Did you get you can catch him. You can do it. You got a decent. Oh! He's done better than Paul. Alright, well, love it. See you there.
He's practicing.
Didn't like the post or something, mate? You didn't like the post or something?
Well, it was a pretty tight shootout. We got a winner in the end. You got the we had to the pin, but we actually got an outright winner. Congratulations, Patrick Duncan. Total Performance Sports. Our major sponsor. A big thanks to Total Performance Sports for their support. If you want to get some strikers, apparel, or anything else for that matter, pop down to TPS during the week. They've got a great range of apparel, shoes, all things sports. In particular, you've got some strikers apparel down there as well.
Turkey.
Congratulations, Patrick Duncan, and thanks again to TPS, and thanks to our many millions of volunteers who help out with the Total Performance Sports half-time penalty shootout as well. Strikers 1-0 down at half-time. Can they come back in the second half?
You can play 2
Let's wait and see.
You can't not blame yourself for winning anyway. Like, you can't just blame it on like 3-2. Can you hop over?
I can do it. Leave the line. Then Berkey just starts swearing straight out.
Don't stack it.
Oh, you wouldn't. I'm like, what a kid.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could have got that? Go, Maxie!
He can't just blame the fact that there's a free kick and stuff. Because he did the way.
Yeah? Do you reckon you could have got that?
I don't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
It would have been. I don't know because like he's tall.
yeah, he's like 6'5".
So instead of trying to hit it over, he tried to palm it where I'd probably just knock it over now.
He's not playing with
Just get that bastard.
unless he, he might. Unless he puts his staff out.
No, he don't need anyone to go out. He's going to take out the team.
Yeah, who?
Oh,
No,
hands!
come on.
Did you see that kid just
That's
catch
the thing.
that?
Who's your ideal lineup for
What?
Who's these?
No, I meant like Jay Carson.
Obviously, you've got Chris Lyon. And then,
I'd take him on you. I'd prefer not even.
Oh, Renee.
Oh, not even. Yeah, Brady at right back. He's not. I feel like you're a bit too close. He's like one of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, during the second half, you will see some members of the Devonport Junior Association with some of the kids from Devonport Juniors are also involved in our SAT program, trying to raise some money for their trip to the Kangaroo Cup. We've got a great raffle going. Usual story, $2 a ticket or 3 for 5. There's some fantastic hampers there. You can win some Mother's Day hampers. So you're buying a present for your mum or your wife. Get along and support them. A great way to support the juniors. You'll see members of representatives around the ground raising money. A great chance to support the boys in the SAT program. The Devonport juniors, get along and
No, you can't. Honestly, by 11.
making their way back onto the ground now. Should be a cracker second half.
There's a 14-year-old. I'm not believing that.
I saw this basketball video and there was left at 6'8" playing like under 16. He's got my varsity side.
Bro, there's some freaks around. You can't really end because you like you can play.
Yeah. Danny could play anywhere.
Yeah.
He's good for
Yeah. I reckon, yeah, Toby could play centre back too.
Yeah, they can play hard. I'd prefer to play. He just reads it better.
He's too much of
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'm saying
So welcome back here for the second half of this huge fixture between the Devonport Strikers, the Hobart Zebras, this round 11 match between the first placed and reigning champion Strikers and the contenders, the Zebras. The Zebras knocking Devonport off their perch, their undefeated perch a couple of weeks ago down at KG5. Hoping to repeat the dose once again today at the Portress. And so far, so good for David Smith and his team.
What do you mean?
They lead 1-0 through an early goal from Matthew Pace. As you can see on your screens, there has been a substitution at half-time. Todd Hingston, who we saw limping off with the assistance of a physio after that Sanders challenge near the end of the first half, has been replaced by Jack Dance, who will just slot into that holding midfield role in behind Jumpoli and Syson. So a switch at half-time for the Devonport Strikers.
they wouldn't start saying
Dance also plays in defence, so he will be alive to the danger in that holding midfield position, which is certainly what coaches like. Helping protect Mulroney and Reynolds. We get underway in the second half here. Zebras to kick off. Looks like Zebras are going to do something just a little different after the rule change. Once upon a time you had to move the ball forward from the kick-off, and these days teams just play it straight back because you don't have to play the ball forward from the kick-off, but Zebras had to do with the ball and just clipped it long. A little different. Didn't actually work because they kicked it straight to Pitchford. But we're underway here What is a huge 45 minutes in the season of both these teams. Zebras can get themselves back in contention for the championship should they pull off this 1-0 result. I cannot help but feel that this game will not finish 1-0. It's in many ways so similar to the game at KG5 a few weeks ago where Devonport went behind early and then controlled the game thereafter. It took a little longer for Devonport to completely assert their ascendancy in this fixture, but they certainly dominated the game in the latter parts of that first half. But the Zebras, we know, are dangerous and have plenty of players who can hurt teams. So, speaking of that, here's Hoogsley, tackled by 2 Devonport players, Dance, Jumpoli, Reynolds. We'll come all the way back to Smith. So it'll be interesting to see what the instructions were from David Smith and from Rick Coughlin at halftime. Will they change things, change the shape, change the tactics? Will it be a second loss for the Devonport Strikers, or can they pinch some goals back? Will Matty Sanders add to his remarkable early tally this season for goals? It's a pretty impressive record. Nathan Code, the young official today, running the show. A big game for the young man. Centre of the park, he's giving out 2 slices of cheese, both to Hobart Zebras players. Dance. A good early touch, finds Jumpoli. Bidwell calls for it. The ball not particularly terrific from Jumpoli. Passes straight to Walsh. And Watman, who's got the cap on. We don't see goalkeepers do that much these days with the cap. But the sun peering over the trees here at Valley Road can tend to do that. Straight in the eyes of the keeper, so he's got the cap on. Hoogsley with a chance to open up and shoot. Plays it back to Dylan instead, who has a chance. He continues to dodge and twist past Devonport players and instead fires the left-footed shot directly at pitch-fitting goals. Some young fans beside me getting some money off newspaper reporter Brad Cole. Throw in, Jumpoli, Stone. It'll be Zebras throw. Walsh back to Little. Pressured by Bidwell, who then grabbed. A bit overzealous there from Bidwell as he tried to win the ball back, but good pressure. Bidwell quick and very fit, as well as being an ever-present in the Devonport Strikers team the last couple of seasons. First at fullback and now up on a wing as Coughlin prefers the taller, stronger fullbacks in Smith and Park. Smith and Park, the 2 fullbacks of Devonport, also the kind of size that could play at centre half too, but it's a big, strong back four for the Devonport Strikers, and they do have the best defensive record in the league. Fitzgerald bumped there as he tried to flick the ball over. Appeals for a free kick, but the official not doing anything. A bit of a high boot from Stone, but play back by Little to Watman. His clearance just happens to find Muller in the middle. Ball bouncing around a bit, and Dance thumps it out. As the game really hasn't gotten into a rhythm as yet early on. There's a good pace. good intensity, but the quality not quite there as yet this half. Stone, speaking of quality on the ball now, has Hoogsleet, but Hoogsleet taller and stronger and wins it off Stone. Park up, Hoogsleet up. Back to Reynolds, who feigns to play it long and then dribbles, loses pace. Tries to go past a couple, it comes to Stone. Then Sison. Chance now for Jampoli to play it forward. He has more of a company, goes past him. Jampoli and Devonport getting into attacking position. He shoots. And Watman comfortably collects, but Jampoli had the chance maybe to slip a ball in behind to a few attacking options there, but he took the touch and shot, but it was straight at Watman. Bit of confusion between the Devonport players there, and the ball now with the Zebras. Hoogsleet with a chance, he switches it nicely out to Dylan, who has the chance again to run at Park. Dylan clips it in towards the back post. Ooh. And Pitchford had to backtrack and flick that one over the bar, as certainly wasn't a shot from Dylan, but it ended up moving towards the net, and Pitchford back-pedaling, had to flick it over, lest it end up in the back of his net. So a corner for the Hobart Zebras. Pitchford alive to the danger and doing enough from the miss-hit cross from Riley Dillon. Speaking of Dillon, he's on the ball here, as you can see, moving the corner in. Clear the front post, but Dillon has another chance to get it back in again. It's a nice ball. Dance gets his head on it. Ooh, and Pace fired it back in on the volley. Didn't quite get any pace on it. Pardon the pun, I guess, but a bit of break dancing. I don't know how much of that he meant, but that was lovely. Towards Park, he's about to run forward. Oh, and it's wonderful tracking back from Dwayne Walsh. Joel Stone on the right wing there doing some remarkable moves. We know he's a smooth mover, but this is not something you see regularly. Stone here, the ball was just getting away from him, so he slid and trapped the ball, allowed his opposition to dive in at it, and then shifted it past them, then played a delightful ball through to Park, who I think was squaring the ball as opposed to shooting, and then was cleared away by the Zebras. Devonport a chance, Reynolds in towards Smith, Watman does well under pressure from Sison, as the Zebras under some early pressure here in this half. Yonazawa. Zebras again not struggling to get a foothold in possession and control of the game at times. Devonport doing most of that. Some very technically gifted plays in this Devonport side. Speaking of that, there's Joel Stone. Oh, that is a ridiculous ball through to Fitzgerald. Stone trapping it on his thigh, taking a touch, and then just slotting it in between fullback and centre back and to the runner Fitzgerald. But Yonazawa did enough to put off Fitzgerald. The goal kick for the Zebras, which Samuel Watman will take, the Kiwi. Long he goes. Sanders jumps, it goes over him and headed away by Park. And the longer this game remains at 1-0, you can certainly expect, if it stays that way until the end, there will be plenty of pressure and intensity around the ground. At the moment, there's a bit of indifference around the ground. The fans just waiting for something to happen. Perhaps something will happen here. Free kick with the Zebras in a dangerous position. Not perhaps on the greatest angle for shooting, but Hoogsleet will always provide a dangerous attacking option, crossing the ball in. His height, he's marked by Mulroney, the Devonport Strikers captain. Dillon into the box. Pace, oh, so close to a second a brace there for Pace. The ball clipped in from Dillon towards the head of Pace, who flicked it and maybe just didn't get the right touch on it because it went wide of Pitchford's post. Ooh, wowee. Fitzgerald nearly had his head taken off there by Pace. Not deliberately, mind you, but control of the chest by Fitzgerald. And he did pull out of the challenge there. Pace, as you can see in your replay, but certainly a free kick as Pace didn't get near the ball and in fact turned his head away from the ball completely, and he played Fitzgerald instead. A ball over the top here towards Syson. Has little for company. Syson, the Englishman, tries the back heel, bounces off Pace, and Little plays it out. Syson, the Englishman, towards Fitzgerald. Queenslander comes to Hoogslute. Flays it forward to no one in particular, and Reynolds comes to the diminutive Argentinian in Giampaolo, who plays the ball out towards Bidwell but doesn't find him, intercepted, and now given away by Dylan in a dangerous position. Stone does well to turn, finds Giampaolo. Devonport strikers in a good position. Giampaolo takes an extra touch, too many perhaps, and flag up. It's gone out of play. Tries to get into the dangerous position with the ball, just didn't stay under his spell. There's the touch past the defender and just couldn't quite get to it to keep it in play. Giampaolo. So we're getting in towards the time when you could expect some changes to be made. Devonport have already obviously made the one forced change with Hingston's injury, putting Dance on. Long throw forward, Sanders, Syson, what a great flick, lovely touch from Fitzgerald, and then Stone. Oh, what a lovely ball to Syson. Stone showing all his tricks today. Syson and Stone not on the same page, and Syson gives it away to Muller, who just gives it away in general and then gesticulates wildly towards his captain, and Sanders saying some movement to make me pass it would be useful, but throw in. Stone again on the ball here. He's had a pretty good game, and that's his, again, the tricks and flicks from Joel Stone. Extraordinary. Fitzgerald tries to cut it in, but Muller always defensively aware, and very important to this Hobart Zebras team. But Joel Stone, full of confidence at the moment.
We've found an Android mobile phone. Put
Showing
your
his full
Samsung
bag
on
of
the ground
tricks.
at half-time. So if you've lost a phone, lost your Samsung phone, pop into the canteen. So we've got it at the canteen.
Do expect to see the Fox in the box, Miles Barnard on at some point, and his influence, particularly from the Devonport team who like to get the ball out and cross it in, is could be a game changer. We certainly expect to see him at some point. Stone, we know, does quite often come off as a sub, rather than get substituted. Here he is now though. Stone turns. Tackled that time well by Walsh. The ball cleared by Fag. Park first to it. Syson, good touch. Clips it over on the left. That's a lovely ball towards Fitzgerald. Walsh alive to the danger and puts it behind for... Is it a corner? Here's Tyson, a lovely touch, and then a good vision to play it in behind Fitzgerald, and then Walsh thumped it out. Into the throw-in. Fitzgerald towards Stone. He found space in the box. No one coming near Joel Stone. Touches around Walsh. Walsh sticks a toe in. Devonport strikers throw again. What a ball from Ralph Reynolds out to Eddie Bidwell. A lovely switch of play, but Bidwell miscontrolled. Yonazawa picked it off, which came to Park, and then straight to Jaden Hay, who just thumps it forward. It's going to come to Smith. He's got options forward. Fitzgerald. Smith does well. Finds, Dance, touches to Smith, who's looked up, and Fitzgerald wasn't quite in the same wavelength again. Hoogslute bounced in to by Dance, and it's a free kick to Hoogslute. Another chance for Zebras to get a ball into the box. The 2-0 deficit would be hard to track back for a Devonport team who struggled to create clear-cut chances today. It feels like a day for the Fox in the box for the Devonport strikers. Riley Dillon has been the designated dead ball specialist on this occasion. And on the hour mark, he's going to look to put Another one into the box for the likes of Sanders and Hoogslead. Sanders hasn't been involved much in the game today, but would not surprise me if he got on the end of one here, such as his class. It's a delicious ball. Oh, what a ball from Riley Dillon. Henry Fagg, the centre-back, onto that. What a ball. That is the defender and goalkeeper's nightmare, that ball from Riley Dillon. That is why he is the one they choose to stand over the ball on those dead ball occasions. The one that just curls in between the keepers and defensive line and allows the offensive players to run onto it. They're the ones who thrive as an attacker. So here's the ball from Dillon again. I can't wait to see this again. Just whips it in. And the touch from Fagg just wide of, just straight out pitch. And Devonport attack now. Stone, Sison, a good toe in from Hoogsley. Watman. Ball again from Dillon, just whipped in. Look at the curl on that. Devonport's players not quite going with their opposite numbers, and they get the chance to punish that, and perhaps a bit of a defender's finish on that occasion from Fagg as he just put his toe on it instead of putting his foot through it. Fitzgerald wide here, calling for the ball. The ball through to Sison. Here's a chance for the Devonport strikers. Daniel Sison, and it is level at the Portress. Daniel Sison, the Englishman, goes behind the goals and celebrates with the home supporters. It is 1-1 here, just after the hour mark. A good bit of play. The Red Sea parted for Sison as he went straight through the heart of the Zebras' defence. Not sure who was marking him or who was in that space, but Jean-Pauli here found space in midfield and just clipped it over to Sison, who lost his midfield opposite number in Muller, and then he just picked his spot as Watman came towards him, just slid it past him along the ground. A terrific finish from Daniel Sison, who gets his name on the score sheet again. Way back when he first came over, I think Sison played a number of goals at the number 9, played a number of games in the number 9 position for the Devonport Strikers, and a bit of a finish of a number 9 there. So Sison's had the 2 best chances this game for Devonport. The one earlier, which Watman saved expertly with his feet, and this one here, which Watman wasn't able to save. And it is level, and I tell you what, this game has all of a sudden sparked to life, and here comes Ignacio Giampaolo, the Argentinian. He finds Bidwell on the right wing, who runs it. Hey, can Bidwell get it across? He cuts it back, he swings it in. It's cleared by Little, top of the box to Sison again, who hits it. Oh, and Watman saves. An exciting passage of play here at Valley Road, as Devonport have exploded to life and have nearly taken the lead through Sison again with a 3rd good chance for this game. The ball blocked by Little came to Sison at the top of the box. His technique was good to get over the ball and the volley, but Watman had a pretty relatively straightforward save down to his right. The corner comes in, Watman at the back post, catches and drops. And it is all to play for now. Devonport level. The Zebras might be forced to play a little bit more attacking as Devonport have been well and truly on top here in this second half, and in all honesty, much of the game. Ball comes forward in between Little and Walsh. They argue over who's going to clear it, and eventually Little does just that. Again, the clearance to Sison, but here's Stone. Throw from Smith, squared by Fitzgerald to Giampaoli. Oh, what a block from Yonazawa. The Zebras hanging on at the moment as Devonport look to put themselves ahead on their home ground, and Sison deemed to have unfairly infringed upon his opponent, but we see the replay here. Giampaoli on his left foot, Yonazawa out well to block, and then Sison impeded Hoogslead. And we have a free kick.
can do it. He'll be like doing you with the other one. I gave the last of my money to you last year. Sit down, Isaac. Isaac, stop. Isaac. You still my dude? Oh, I'll get under one.
I'm the one with the chips.
I'm the one with the
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there.
Isaac, what chips? He's not even going to stop. For the first one, this one's last. Right, I know that we live in Tasmania. Well, you're gonna go up to your nan and say it. Where did you go at your age? Probably not. No, he was like basketball. Oh, 8 points for the
So we have had a momentary lapse in the commentary and the audio, which I'm sure you're probably glad for if you're watching. Unfortunately for you, you've got my voice again to call the final 20 or so minutes of action here at Valley Road, and certainly after that Devonport Strikers goal, this game has exploded into life. Far more exciting as the ball comes into the box again and is just cleared away by the Mitsubishi medalist Jaden Hay, who says, let's just put this out and get ourselves set. As Devonport continue to chase this game and the Zebras continue to hold on. Throw in towards Stone. Walsh clears, also a Mitsubishi medalist. Like Stone himself, very nearly a Mitsubishi medalist. Certainly a regular vote poller. Sison, Smith. Fitzgerald shoots off the heels of Hay and cleared away. Park heads down towards Giampoli, who turns a lovely turn from the Argentinian. He turns in, delicious ball in behind Yonazawa, but not quite read by Bidwell and perhaps a little too delicate. Watman always favourite to collect. Watman kicks that one up towards Pace. Fitzgerald bettered by Walsh on that occasion, and the ball comes long. Mulroney, Smith, Sanders, Sison, head towards Fitzgerald, to Sison, the ball into the box. The ball ricocheting everywhere, and Zebras just put it out of play again as Devonport searched desperately for an equaliser here. The goal to go ahead as they already have an equaliser. Bidwell tries a turn, doesn't quite come off. Toe pokes it back to Park. Park drives forward. He's tackled by McEwen, who was on as a substitute for Hoogsloot. Park holds his feet. No, a foul on McEwen. And the tall timber roll forward for Devonport. Smith. Mulroney. Park. Dance. Ball's in towards Sison and Mulroney, and it comes off Mulroney's head. I think the ball hit Mulroney as opposed to Mulroney heading the ball more there. And it just went straight to Watman. Towards the ends of this game. Both teams would love 3 points here. Make no mistakes, Zebras won't be happy to settle for one. They need a result here today.
Have you ever played casino? Like, have you ever played betting? Have you ever played betting?
My uncle asked me if I want to bet on the horse, and I picked a number, and I won $180, and he only gave me $5.
So from Sanders to Yonazawa. Plays into the feet of Sanders again. Towed away by Raph Reynolds. Giampoli, excellent ball out towards Bidwell. Watman runs back onto his line. Can Bidwell find a shot here? He's got, Walsh for company. He fires the goals, but Walsh blocks. Giampoli tries to get past Hay, loses out. Sison has Hay. Bidwell once again, and Walsh. Bidwell dribbles at him. Bidwell comes back to Sison, who is in the box. He has a chance to fire across, and he does, but Watman is down and saves well. And he throws it out to Riley Dillon as the Zebras have a chance to counter-attack. Into the park to Sunday McEwen. Clips into the feet of Sanders, who's getting involved in the play. Sanders turns and runs. Devonport Strikers defence, and Joel Stone wins it back off him. So some 76 minutes played. The score still 1-1. So we have a result in the Super League. 2-2 draw between Ulverston and Olympia. A big game over there. The big finish. 2-2 the result. Pace for Zebras. Jaden Hay got that one wrong. Tried to clip it out towards the run of Dwayne Walsh and just overhit it. Smith. Long up towards Pace. I mean, Sarson, but little intercepts. Thrown from Smith off the head of Little. Dance pinches it off McEwen. Oh, a nice little dink in from McEwen. Bidwell gets the ricochet from the challenge. Bidwell goes past a couple, he shoots. Oh, Wyman! Oh, this is Jampoli saves block shot as well. And the shot, oh, from Dance is over, but an extraordinary passage of play once again, which saw an excellent save from the Kiwi Watman, who has been crucial in keeping the Zebras in this game today. So the ball through from Dance. A challenge between Little and Bidwell. Bidwell clipped it past a couple shot, and Watman's left hand was strong. And then the follow-up from Jampoli was blocked, and then Dance fired over. We have a substitution. As foreshadowed, Joel Stone, who regularly comes off as a substitute, has been replaced by the Fox in the Box, Miles Barnard, the leading goal scorer for the Devonport Strikers this year with 6. So he provides a different option than Stone, who likes to drop deep, pick up the ball, get involved in the play. Barnard is the type to hold it up and then get on the end of things once the ball comes into the box. The ball flung forward with no idea in particular from Park there, and the Zebras have a chance to counter-attack. Zebras with a chance to attack. Jaden Hay, a good feed. Tackle by Sarson, who clips it out towards Bidwell. I'll tell you, it's on now. 3-on-2 for the Devonport Strikers here. Can they work it out? Bidwell, can he choose the right option? He finds Fitzgerald. Oh, what a tackle from Yonezawa, who came flying in, tracking back. The Devonport Strikers looked like they had the goal. They're beckoning there, but Bidwell chose the Fitzgerald option, who took a touch, prepared to fire, and Yonezawa threw himself in front of him and didn't have to clip the ball back towards his goalkeeper. As the game ticks away from Devonport and Zebras here, 1-0 the result. Mulroney, the centre back and captain, marauding forward. Syson clips it past Walsh, comes to the feet of Bidwell, who has the support of the kids here, as you can probably hear into the microphones. He tries to get past Muller, but is well tackled. And it's going to be a corner for the Devonport Strikers. 10 minutes to play at Valley Road, the Portress, round 11, MPL Tas. Bidwell finding Fitzgerald, maybe just a little bit behind Fitzgerald if you were nitpicking the pass from Bidwell. Even still, Fitzgerald could have fired first time on his left foot, but Fitzgerald wanted to take the touch, control it, and then fire with his right foot. So you could argue either way. Perhaps the pass from Bidwell should have been in front of Fitzgerald, or that Fitzgerald should have hit it first time when he's non-preferred, but the ball comes across now for Devonport, and the official has found reason to put whistle to lips in favour of the Hobart Zebras. Set for a bit of a grandstand finish, I think, here at Valley Road. Can see either side pinching one. Devonport controlling the game, while Zebras pinching one on the counter-attack. Here we see again Bidwell drawing Little, and then passing it to Fitzgerald, and Yonezawa continues to be impressive in this season of MPL Tas. Bidwell again, who's had a good second half, gets the ball, plays it to the feet of Miles Barnard, the Fox in the Box outside his natural habitat. And his wires crossed a little bit there with his teammates. Ball out for a goal kick. Substitution now for the Hobart Zebras. Riley Dillon off. And James Ackley on. Pace, his name I haven't called much. Muller. Ball in, Reynolds clears. Syson, lovely touch towards Jumpoli, but Walsh at her best. Walsh clips in towards Sanders, lovely touch. McEwen and Mulroney clash. McEwen step over, shifts his weight, comes back to Walsh, who hit it first time, he does. Ooh, and the header misdirected from Pace. So replay of an earlier chance from Bidwell and Watman. What a save from Watman. His left hand as Bidwell tried to place it past him. It was strong. Did enough to keep the Zebras in this game. Here's Ackley. Substitution, opens up with a run, dodges the flying tackle of Syson, cuts inside. Can he make an immediate impact? No, Dance intercepts. Ooh, Dance mishits that pass a little. I'm not sure if it was intended for Bidwell or for Jumpoli, but Bidwell now comes back to Dance. The ground a bit chopped up now and bobbling a little bit, particularly in the midfield area. Little heads down, but only as far as Jumpoli, who can now run at the Zebras defence, causing them all sorts of problems. He has the ball, it opens up, he doesn't go down upon the tackle from Little. Or maybe he should have, and now Ackley with a chance to counter-attack. Fitzgerald on him, Ackley to Yonazawa. The ball played off. Park. Here's the run from Jumpoli. Dodges the tackle. And then Yonazawa. Critical in his interception. I don't know how many times I've had to say that. But between Yonazawa and Little, they've been very important. Here he is again, Yonazawa. Delicious ball into Sanders, who nearly had a chance to trap it and shoot, and then thumped by Jaden Hay. And Pitchford saves it from the corner. Is it out for a throw in, or has it gone behind for a corner? Wait and see. They're certainly lining up for a corner, so that it is. You see the ball drop for Hay, who gets over it, but a little too much, and just ricochets off the Devonport players. And despite Pitch's effort to try and limit it to a throw-in, it has gone out for a corner. And Jaden Hay, the man over it. 5 minutes left. Are we in for a big finish here at Valley Road? The flick from Ackley, not quite coming off. Cleared by Devonport. As it's now Devonport's turn to set themselves up defensively. Yonazawa does take the time over the throw-in though. Zebra slowing the game down a little bit, probably indicates that they might be happy with the point. Point lost here for Devonport though would give their rivals a good chance to overtake them. Big game on Sunday between South and Olympia, which I'm sure all Devonport fans and players and coaching staff will be watching, particularly if this result remains at 1-1. Cleared by Fagg, off the head of Sanders. Mulroney clever back to Pitchford, who launches early. Jumpoli puts his head on it, gets it towards Barnard. Barnard, a very clever ball towards Bidwell, who can't quite keep it in. Nice idea from Barnard, perhaps a little bit too far for Bidwell. He did well to see the pass, the execution. I'm sure the Bidwell slipped or what quite happened there, whether he was just flung to reach in a bit of cramp from Bidwell, who's worked incredibly hard on that wing today. So in the 87th minute, I'm not sure how much added time we'll have. I don't think it'll be quite a significant amount, but Bidwell at the moment needing some attention. can see on your screens there, the physio from Devonport helping Bidwell. Stretching himself ready for what is a big 5 minutes in the season. Make no mistake, this is a championship deciding kind of fixture. Fitzgerald not cleared by Walsh. Fitzgerald has a chance to run and his opposition. A good ball in. Oh, Watman clever again. Barnard over the top of Watman late, and Watman gets a free kick. But Walsh didn't clear it particularly well. Fitzgerald ran onto it. He clipped it across towards Barnard. Probably didn't quite get the angle on the pass he was hoping for, Fitzgerald, and Watman was there to collect, and Barnard came in late and just let Watman know he was there. And so a free kick, which Watman going with. Bidwell comes back onto the field on the far side after his bout of cramp. Watman long up towards Yonazawa. That is an incredible pass. Yonazawa clips in the box towards McEwen, comes over the back towards Smith and Pace. Pace showed some pace, but did not quite show it enough, and it's a Devonport throw. It's a bit of a calm before the storm kind of feel here in the crowd at Valley Road. They're waiting for something to happen. So often Devonport come up with something when it matters most at this ground. Barnard trying to find Sice, and it comes to Giampoli, who as ever is clever with his touches. Dance. Good turn from him. Finds Giampoli, who is not impeded by McEwen, despite the howls of the Devonport fans. Walsh intelligently clears up the line with his header. Here's Giampoli. Giampoli was on the way down already. It was in the slightest of nudges. It would have to be a very soft free kick to give that, as Muller goes down with a bout of cramp now, and the Zebras physio makes his way across the ground to treat him. Perhaps we will see 4 minutes or so of added time, you might imagine, with these pauses. Crowd complaining about the time being taken. Nathan Code, the official, pointing towards his watch, reassuring the players that yes, indeed, this time is being added on. A leisurely stroll off the park by Jordan Muller. Oh, it's a substitution, in fact. So Muller off. Yeah, I tell you what, look at the wheels of the young man who's come onto the pitch. They are a bright pair of wheels. You want to be able to play with those kind of boots. He looks like he's moved into kind of holding midfield position. It is Chirutza. I believe his natural habitat is a centre-back, but he looks like he's going to play just in front of Little and Fag in a holding midfield kind of role. On the comeback from injury, Chirutza, so a tussle and a tangle and a wrestle, but Walsh wins out that time as we are into added time here. The clock at the ground is not quite in sync with the clock on the stream. So the fans at Valley Road slightly confused about the passage of time here, but it's all down to the official's whistle in the end, and the players will play these last 3 or 4 minutes with the intensity with which they have played the entirety of this second half. Devonport's goal early in the second half, the game came to life, and Devonport have certainly had 2 or 3 good opportunities since then, and balls cleared off the line, which has kept Zebras in the game. Devonport have certainly had the better of this fixture, but the Zebras have enough quality as we know, that they can certainly spring a late surprise here as Smith touches around pace. He gets it out to Fitzgerald. He finds the feet of Barnard, who's touched to Fitzgerald, doesn't quite come off, but a nice ball from Barnard in behind. Little will just have to clear it up the line. He doesn't quite yet, and he tries to play it off Fitzgerald, but it does come to pace. Now they come up the line. Only as far as Dan, his chest doesn't quite work. Sanders, the journeyman, experienced, shields the ball, catches Dance in the mouth, who plays at his face. Dance flies in on McEwen and wins the ball. Well done from Dance. A lovely pass again from Reynolds to Bidwell, who goes past Yonezawa. That's excellent from Bidwell. Yonezawa's even better though as he tracks back. It's going to be a corner. Is there late drama here? It has to be late drama as we are into the nearly ticking into the 94th minute. It's certainly the 93rd minute. This corner will be taken in the 94th minute though. This could be the very last throws of this game. Is there something in this? The fox in the box. Chirutza has the fox in the box. It comes in towards the fox, and it's off the fox, but cleared by Jaden Hay. Up towards Jumpoli. Time ticking away from the Devonport Strikers. Into the box from Ralph Reynolds towards Kieran Mulroney, but Samuel Watman, who's been a mountain today, has it in his arms. He might well feature in the votes if he's of the official if it finishes here at 1-0. Nathan Code looks at his watch in the centre of the pitch. Pitchford clips it forward. Time not quite out yet. Fitzgerald's touch. Miles Barnard has it now. He lays it to Smith, who's overlapping. He's got pace for company. Walsh clips it away. Barnard in again. Throws himself into the tackle. It's McEwen. And there it is. Nathan Code signals an end to the game, which finishes at 1-0. The players on the pitch remonstrate with Code because they aren't aware that the clock has in fact on the ground, as you might be able to see in your stream, is not correct. The clock on the ground reads only 91.5 minutes. When in fact we have played 4 minutes, we're into the 4th minute of added time. So the players are remonstrating, saying that they thought there should be more added time, when in fact it is a failure of the clock on the ground. So, not that it makes much difference because it was all in for those last couple of minutes anyway. But it finishes 1-1 between the Hobart Zebras and the Devonport Strikers. There's always that anticlimactic feeling when the game finishes at 1-1, particularly when the game sprung to life midway through that second half after Devonport got the equaliser. The result that neither team wanted, to be fair. Zebras still find themselves trailing Olympia and South Hobart and Devonport. And Devonport now give their rivals in Olympia and South on Sunday the chance to close or even surpass them on the ladder. So not the result either team were looking for, but an entertaining game, particularly in the second half nonetheless. Here's the early goal. Hingston giving it away to Pace, who finished well past Pitchford. The goal that gave Zebras the advantage for nigh on an hour, 50 minutes or so. And then later on, Devonport Strikers equalised. Jean-Pauli, a beautiful ball in behind Esiason as he made a great run and slotted it expertly. I think he feigned to put it into the bottom right corner and just cut it across the keeper and put it in the bottom left. That is a terrific finish from Daniel Esiason, and the Devonport Strikers levelled and looked like they might go ahead with a few late chances, but it didn't quite happen for them, and the Zebras might be a little disappointed with their performance in regards to the opportunities that they created, or the lack thereof, but they have walked away from the Portress with a point, which is more than many teams take when they come here. So both teams will get themselves ready for the Cup games to come. I believe these two are playing each other in the Cup in the next round of that, so they'll prepare to face each other again shortly. But it finishes 1-1 here today between the Devonport Strikers and the Hobart Zebras. I've been Camille Douglas, bringing you this coverage for NPL Tas and Slice of Cheese and Football Tasmania from Valley Road. We will see you next time.
Geordie was happy though because he had a clean sheet. He gets so angry he doesn't. Alright.
That's the aim every time.
Yeah. See you, mate.
Feel Lockload.
Getting some money off Walsh. And back to Little. Pressured by Bidwell, who then grabbed. So kind of size that could play at centre half too, but it's a big strong back four for the Devonport Strikers, and they do have the best defensive record. Fitzgerald bumped there as he tried to flick the ball over. Appeals for a free kick, but the official not doing anything. A bit of a high boot from Stone, but past him, Jean-Paul and Devonport getting into attacking position. He shoots. And Watman comfortably collects, but a chance again to run at Park. Dylan clips it in towards the back post. Ooh. And Pitchford had to backtrack and flick that one over. Dylan has another chance to get it back in again. It's a nice ball. Dance gets his head on it. Ooh, Pace fired it back in on the volley. Didn't quite get him. Pun, I guess, but oh, so a bit of break dancing. I don't know how much of that he meant, but that was lovely. Towards Park, he's about to run forward. Some very technically gifted plays in the Devonport side. Speaking of that, there's Joel Stone. Oh, that is a ridiculous ball through to Fitzgerald. Expect if that stays that way until the end, there will be plenty of pressure and intensity around the ground. At the moment, there's Dylan into the box. Pace, oh, so close. Ooh, wowee. Fitzgerald nearly had his head take position. Stone does well to turn. Finds Giampoli. Devonport Strikers in a good position. Giampoli takes an extra touch too many perhaps and flag up. It's gone out of play. Park first to it. Syson, good touch. Clips it over on the left. That's a lovely ball towards Fitzgerald. Walsh alive to the danger and puts it behind for. He's looked up and Fitzgerald wasn't quite in the same wavelength again. Hoogsloot bounced in to by Dance, and it's a free kick to Hoogsloot. Another chance for Zebras to get a ball. Would not surprise me if he got on the end of one here, such as his class. It's a delicious ball. Oh, what a ball from Riley Dillon. Through it. Fitzgerald wide here, calling for the ball. The ball through to Syson. Here's a chance for the Devonport Strikers. Daniel Syson, and it is level at the Portress. Daniel Syson, the Englishman, goes behind the goals and celebrates with the home supporters. It is one. The ball get it across. He cuts it back. He swings it in. It's cleared by Little, top of the box to Syson again, who hits it. Oh, and Watman saves. Throw from Smith, squared by Fitzgerald to Giampoli. Oh, what a block from Yonazawa. The Zebras. Giampoli, excellent ball out towards Bidwell. Watman runs back onto his line. Can Bidwell find a shot here? He's got, Walsh for company. He fires the goals, but Walsh blocks. Giampoli was at him. Bidwell comes back to Syson, who is in the box. He has a chance to fire across, and he does, but Watman is down and saves well. Clips it into the feet of Sanders, who's getting involved in the play. Sanders turns and runs. Devonport Strikers defence, and Joel Stone pushes it off McEwen. Oh, a nice little dink in from McEwen. Bidwell gets the ricochet from the challenge. Bidwell goes past a couple, he shoots. Oh, Watman! Oh, this is Giampoli saves block shot as well. And the shot, from Dance is over, but an extraordinary passage of play one. Sit out towards Bidwell, and I'll tell you, it's on now 3-on-2 for the Devonport Strikers here. Can they work it out? Bidwell, can he choose the right option? He finds Fitzgerald. Oh, what a tackle from Yonazawa, who can now run in the Zebras defence, calling them all sorts of problems. He has the ball, it opens up, he doesn't go down upon the tackle from Little. Or maybe he should. Delicious ball into Sanders, who nearly had a chance to trap it and shoot, and then thumped by Jaden Hay. And Pitchford saves it from the corner. Gets it towards Barnard. Barnard, a very clever ball towards Bidwell, who can't quite keep it in. Nice championship deciding kind of fixture. Fitzgerald not cleared well by Walsh. Fitzgerald has a chance to run and his opposition. A good ball in. Oh, Watman clever again. Dance. Good turn from him. Finds Jumpoli, who is not impeded by McEwen, despite the howls of the Devonport. That's excellent from Bidwell. Jonas Howes even better though as he tracks back. It's going to be a corner. Is there late drama here? It has to be late drama. The Fox in the box. It comes in towards the Fox, and it's off the Fox, but cleared by Jaden Hay. Up towards Jumpoli.